No, it's not a matter of selecting a specific clientele, it's figuring out who's your audience.
Would you be willing to give me some water? Finding your audience. And the reason I bring up the Grateful Dead, it completely cracks me. I love the Grateful Dead. I never saw them live. I actually was listening to Fish in college. And the thing about Fish is it's jazz. This is what it amounts to. They're guys who play rock instruments as a jazz quartet. They can play anything. You're total music nerds. They could play, Dixieland jazz and then break into something that was like Pink Floyd. It was just like, what is this? They would allow people to tape and trade their concerts, which is how I started listening to them. And then occasionally these kids would like throw in a Grateful Dead bootleg or something, and I would listen to it, and it didn't quite make sense at first. And I listened to it again and again and again. It was like, wow. Dude, who is this? The Grateful Dead, and started doing research. And I became one of those music nerds because you got into this point where you could be like, oh my God, no, the show from '74 with the Wall of Sound when they were in Paris, and then, the late '70s was different because the sound system was different. And they had a different organist. Jerry's tone was different than it was here. There was like eras for the band. It was like listening to Miles Davis from like Kind of Blue to like Dark Magus in '74 to like Pangea later in his career. It changed. Picasso had a blue period. But the blue period was just like a little sliver of like time frame, went from Cubist to all these different styles of painting that he did. Jerry was dead for 20 years when the band had a reunion show, a series of shows. I think it was 2 or 3 in Chicago. I think they turned $30 million in those 3 days. How's that for a following? He's been dead for 20 years.
They got an awesome marketing value because their stickers are everywhere.
Now, when the Grateful Dead came out, here's what happened. The music industry went to the Haight-Ashbury trying to package all these hippie bands, and they had the hardest time with the Grateful Dead. They could not package what the Grateful Dead did. They're almost like anarchists. They're musicians, but they were